Welcome back to Reading Bear. Today, we will take a look at some new I Don't Work Here Lady stories. And if you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comments. Let's go!
The first story is titled, I'm sorry you confused my black shirt and cargo shorts for an orange smock. At Home Depot today picking up some flooring. A middle-aged lady approaches me asking if I can help her get something off a top shelf. I am 6 feet 4 inches and get asked this a lot no matter where I go. It's no big deal. I say sure and follow her further down the aisle. She points to a stack of tile on the very top shelf. I tell her that there is no possible way for me to get that and the store would need to get one of those lifter things for her. She thanks me and I go on my way. Or so I thought. A couple of minutes later I am back in the aisle I was previously in loading wood laminate into my cart and I hear a loud, "Excuse me," from behind me. Guess who found me again? Her. Are you going to help me or not? Me, ma'am, I have my own stuff to load. Find an employee to help you. They are walking around or you can go to the front desk. Her. Why should I find someone else when you are already helping me? It's at this point I realize she thinks I'm an employee. Me, ma'am, do you think I'm an employee? I don't work here. Her. If you don't work here then why were you helping me? Me, because you asked and I don't mind helping. Look at me. I'm wearing a black shirt and cargo shorts. All the employees are wearing an orange smock and pants. Her. As she is walking away, you shouldn't offer to help me if you don't work here. Me calling out to her, I didn't offer. You asked. Cue her flipping me off as she walks away. The next story is titled, Apparently I'm a Doctor. So let's say my name is John Doe. I often get phone calls that go like, "Hey, John," I reply something sensible and they go, "Listen, I have such and such issue with a patient." It's always annoying calls about medical events or colleagues, bear in mind I'm an engineer. So this idiot Dr. John Poe has a name that's almost identical to mine and decided whenever someone annoyed him he gives him the same wrong number, my number. And every other call I get is I don't work here scenario, adding SMS and WhatsApp. I got fed up, found his number and tried contacting him to no avail. I sent him a message with a lawyer who contacted me and knew him personally, and a girl he was dating, to no avail. So I figured I would have some fun. I know for a fact he sees face to face some of these people, so I started interrupting them as they began asking, once I knew they were not patients, and hanging up. I said stuff like, "Sorry, can't talk, I just found out I'm getting a divorce." Some of the excuses I used are "got herpes, I'm in jail." Silly more or less harmless stuff. Then I ran out of ideas and began saying things to the effect of, "It's not urgent, but I really need to discuss something with you." I wasn't trying to get him into trouble or worry anyone too much, but annoy him. So one day I get a call from John. He wants me to stop, is quite mad, wants me to change numbers. That's not gonna happen. That's the last time I heard of John. Kinda miss him actually. The next story is titled, Airline Captain, Bellboy. Late 1980s at Denver Stapleton. I have just commuted in from Houston, my domicile, to pick up a trip originating in Denver. Strolling down the concourse in uniform, my suitcase and chart bag in tow. And a woman loudly says, "Yo, bellboy. Get my bags to gate 34 inches. And she dumps her bags in my vicinity and walks off. I consider them for a moment, and also consider that I am headed for gate 34. Thoughts run through my mind, one of which was that I don't really want this woman on my flight. So I consider my options, ignore the bags and consider my happy stroll to gate 34. At some point the woman realizes that I've ignored her request and comes jogging after me. She begins shrieking. At one point in her tirade she bellowed, "I'm not going to tell you this again." To which I replied, "Oh good. I'm glad you're not going to tell me again, now please stop bothering me." She, of course, pursued me all the way to the gate, curiously leaving her luggage in the middle of the concourse. I was greeted by the gate agent and asked her to unlock the jetway for me so I could get down to the airplane. As she headed for the jetway, shrieking lady grabbed her by the arm and yelled, "You're not going to let the damn bellboy escape. He left my bags. I want him fired." Gate agent smiled happily, and said, "Captain? Do you want to deny boarding to this individual?" I replied, "Yes, safety of flight. Irrational. Possibly intoxicated." Gate agent said, "I'll call security. And I'll do the paperwork. Have a nice flight." The next story is titled, I Don't Work Here Lady Vacation Edition. So I'm on vacation with my family. The hotel we are staying at has a nice free breakfast. It has one of those waffle machines as well. We walk down to eat breakfast. I'm wearing Batman lounge pants and a t-shirt. I make everyone a waffle because dads are the best, really, because I don't want the kids to start pushing each other around hot metal. After I hand the waffles, I finally make mine and start to sit down, when I hear I'd like 2 waffles. Obviously I ignore it and sit down with my family. The lady follows me and says, "Crazy lady, didn't you hear me? I said I wanted 2 waffles. Me, yay, I heard you. The breakfast self-serve. You have to make them yourself. Crazy lady, I just saw you hand out waffles to these people. Get off your butt and do your job. Me, these people are my family. I don't work here. I'm on vacation just like you. Crazy lady, listen here you lazy." Crazy lady's kid, "Look mommy, he's wearing Batman pants." She looks down, sees my pants. It finally clicks and she starts making her breakfast. Her husband walks up afterwards and tells me he's sorry, and offers to buy me a lunch on him. He hands me a 20 and says sorry again. The next story is titled, About 20 Quid. A few years ago I was waiting for my girlfriend in a popular retail store whilst she tried on clothes. As I was standing about on my phone, a lady approaches me with an item of clothing. "Excuse me. Do you know how much this shirt is? I can't find the price anywhere." Perplexed, I respond, "About 20 quid? A short time later she reapproaches me quite irately. "You said that this was £20. I queued up and they said it was 50. My response: "Well, duck knows why you asked me. I don't work here." The next story is titled, Dumbest Person Ever. I used to work as a paramedic in a large city. A Home Depot opened right at the street corner we are supposed to sit at. Me and my partner were both new homeowners, as was a police unit in the area, so we all go in together. They were having some nice sales on tools that we all could use. Some guy comes up to me asking for help getting something behind the locked case. I just look at him and say, "Sorry, I don't work here." He then goes to my partner and asks the same thing. Now, as most people know, the Home Depot uniforms are orange. Myself and my partner are dressed in navy blue pants and tops with the word paramedic in 4 in letters on the back. No way we can be confused for Home Depot employees, but it gets better. He then goes up to the police officers, again big letters on their back saying, "Police." The cops just look at him and go, "Are you drunk or stupid?" After a bit of a conversation of more of this, they take his ID and run his name. He was on probation, had an active warrant out for his arrest, and was trying to buy a box cutter, in violation of his probation. Yep, he spent the night in lockup. The next story is titled, Please Understand Before One of Us Dies. I work at a college, not as a teacher or teacher's assistant but as Dynamics 365 specialist. So I'm in the IT department, but I am not the guy who comes to your desk to fix your computer. I am an expert in a specific system. This all means that while I do work here, I do not work here, where here is the desktop services team. This is relevant because one day I'm at work in the IT office and I hear a knock on the door. For reference, the actual area we work in on the 2nd floor of a building. The other floors are used for storage and there is a single staircase that connects them. At the bottom of that staircase is an access control door. If you don't have the code, you're not getting in. So I get up, lock my PC, head downstairs and open the door. I am faced with some random teacher holding a laptop who shoves it at me and says, "This is broken, fix it or give me a new one and do it now." My response is the classic, "Sorry, I'm not part of the desktop services team. If you would like to leave me the ticket number for the ticket you've raised, then I'll get one of the technicians to contact you when they get back." Teacher engages Karen mode. "Give me a new computer. You IT people, you're all so lazy, all you do is play computer games all day, we know you always lie to us." She goes on, I stop listening. I respond with a repetition of the previous statement, and when she doesn't listen I just close the door on her. This is where it gets really fun. Her response is to throw the laptop at the door. Laptop 0, door 1, and then shout that she is friends with the head of IT and will get me fired as she storms off. So, I pull out my phone and call my boss. Coincidentally, my direct boss is the head of IT services and she is amazing to work for. Explain what just happened and ask her what I should do. My boss, asks me if the asset tag on the laptop is still in the wreckage by the door. Happily it is. This lets us find out who is the person responsible for the laptop. Long story short, my boss talks to her boss and she gets fired for gross misconduct and destruction of company property. The next story is titled, Lady Just Wastes Her Own Time, Thinks She Won. I work as a POS, point of sale, technician. My job is essentially driving around with a truck full of touch screens and receipt printers doing service calls at grocery stores, restaurants, cafes, retail stores, servicing pretty much any company that doesn't have its own dedicated tech team. Many times each day I'm confused for staff, and it's completely understandable since I'm usually behind a counter somewhere and ducking around with the computer. I do what I can to avoid customer contact, dress in all black, no name tag, carry tools with me, avoid eye contact and get in and out as quickly as possible. This works most of the time, but otherwise I have no problem explicitly telling people, hey sorry I don't actually work here, but they can help you on the other till. My job is literally r/I don't work here lady the movie. Anyways, so today I had a call at a grocery store because one of the till's serial ports stopped working, so basically I have to crack open the computer case, replace the ducked-up PCI card, plug everything back in, install drivers and then reassign all the hardware to their new ports within the POS software. This story begins with me just at the point where I've unplugged everything and have the computer pulled out from its compartment when I pop up from under the counter and see some lady unloading a cart onto the conveyor belt. She's on her phone. I give her a little wave and say, oh hey, this lane is actually closed, sorry for the inconvenience, but she continues unloading the cart. I point at the register closed little pyramid thing that's sitting on the conveyor directly in front of her slowly growing pile of groceries. She gives me a little hand wave, shoo gesture and rolls her eyes but continues unloading. All bets are off. I make a show of slamming the computer down in front of her. I unscrew the case, pop it open, remove the ducked PCI card. She's done unloading the cart and looking antsy and watching me. By the time I have the crap plugged back in and turn the computer on, she's off the phone. Her, what's taking so long? Me, I told you this lane was closed. You should try the other lane. Her, I already unloaded my cart, I'm not waiting in line again, as if she waited in line to begin with. Me, well this till is going to take about 45 more minutes. You're welcome to wait it out. Her, this is ridiculous. Where is your manager? Me, in his office, in major city where we're based. I don't work here. I'm fixing the computer. It's going to take a while. She stands around for a good 10 minutes while I'm installing drivers until a manager walks by and she flags him down. She tells him about how rude I was being and how I was making her wait and wait and wait, etc. Me, hey, I told her the lane was closed. Him, how much longer will this take? Me, half an hour. Him, okay well I'd be happy to help you at the customer service desk. Her, finally some service. She loads her card up again and walks it over to the customer service desk with a smug ass grin on her face. Like lady, you didn't win anything. There were open registers the whole time. You literally wasted your own time arguing with me, then did the exact thing you were complaining about, having to move registers, while feeling proud of yourself. The next story is titled, Yes but I'm just shopping. I worked at Home Depot years ago. One time I was actually off but had to run in and buy something. Anyway, a guy asks if I work there. I tell him, yes, but I'm off today, I'm just in to buy something. I'll help you though. I then spent like 20 minutes helping them. I think I sold them a push mower or something. Anyhow, once we're done he says something along the lines of, you know you really should be wearing your uniform so people know you work here. Again I tell him I'm off today, just shopping, and I helped him to be nice. Dude went up front to the cashier and complained that I wasn't in uniform and was rude to him, saying I didn't work today. The next story is titled, I ended up calling them a 4-lettered word. I always thought these stories were the stuff of legends until it finally happened to me. Last weekend I brought my car to the dealership for an oil change and inspection, and had dinner plans soon after, so I was dressed in a collared shirt and dress pants, which also happens to be the uniform of the dealership's sales team, minus the name tag. The dealership has a waiting room on the main floor just next to the service station, and that's where I was standing around, helping myself to the free coffee. Then I hear it for the first time, behind me. Do you know when my car will be ready? There was nobody else in the lounge, and I knew right away she had to be talking to me. I was annoyed on principle that she half shouted it at my back. Hello ooh. I've been waiting 45 minutes and need to go soon. I turned around, my lips still glued to the coffee cup, and I just stared at her, saying nothing, because my mood now went from annoyed to amused. Her, are you deaf? Where's my car? Me, ma'am, I am sorry but I can't help you. I am sure if you ask an employee here. I am asking you. Then good luck, I said, and turned around. Her sigh was loud enough to almost rattle my teeth and she stormed off to the bathroom. Moments later an employee comes over and asks me if everything is alright. I explained the situation and she smiled and asked me to direct the lady to her if it happens again. I said sure. A few minutes later the bathroom door opens and I hear aggressive footsteps, so I look in that direction and see her making a beeline at me and stopping a foot away while pointing a finger at my chest. You are a terrible employee. I've bought 3 cars from this place and will be going to competitor brand S the next time I need a car. Ma'am. She stepped even closer to me, so I could now smell her breath. This is the worst service. You are unprofessional, and I want to. Me, losing my cool, listen you dopey duck, I don't work here, why haven't you figured that out yet? She stammered and said a few words that I can't remember, and suddenly the employee I spoke to earlier swoops in and leads the lady away, who has a stunned and angry look on her face, and soon after I could hear was already well into her next session of complaining. I sat down in a chair to finish my coffee, but I was so jacked on adrenaline I ended up playing the situation over 100 times again in my head. Later on I got an apology from the real employee, which was nice but unnecessary, as I don't think the client's behavior is their responsibility. In any case, these situations are truly more fun to read about than be in. The next story is titled, "No, I'm Not Your Coworker." I have been a long-time lurker, but today it finally happened to me. I went out today to do some early Christmas shopping. I know it's not even Thanksgiving yet, but I love Christmas. I went to an outdoors store that was having a sale on cozy socks I thought my mother-in-law might like. I was browsing all the different patterns when this interaction happened. For simplicity's sake I'll be me, the store manager will be SM. SM, hello, can I help you find anything? Me, no thank you, I'm just browsing. SM, do you need me to bring more socks out from the back? Me, no that's alright, I'm fine with what I have. SM, well the shelves won't be very stocked with just those few pairs. Me? SM, aren't you stocking these shelves? You really shouldn't be shopping while you're working. Me, looks down at green sweater and jeans I'm wearing that look nothing like the blue uniform. No, I don't work here. SM, if you don't work here then why are you stocking these shelves? Me, I'm not, I'm shopping. This circular argument went on for another few minutes until I finally walked away. I'm not sure he ever got that I didn't work for him. How can a manager not know his own employees? The next story is titled, "Psycho Lady Assaults My Little Sister." So, I've always read the posts on here and always thought how ridiculous, psychotic people could be. Well, unfortunately for my sister, S from now on, and I dealt with one such psycho idiot, PB. This all takes place last Friday afternoon. For a little background, I have a younger sister who is adopted and is also Colombian. So, compared to me, a pale, curly redhead, whose Irish descent cannot be mistaken for anything else, one can easily assume we have no relation at all to each other. Now, S is also special needs. She is high-functioning autistic and is only really comfortable with our parents, me, and my so of 6 years. S is physically 16, looks 11/12, but is mentally 8 in reality. To the nightmare, I mean story. On Friday, I picked up S from her school. I help out my parents a lot, plus my S is my world. She is fortunate enough that she is able to attend a specialized school that caters specifically to kids with special needs. After I picked her up from school I had to run to the store known for khakis and red polos. S is wearing leggings with horses on them, her favorite animal, and a red tee with more horses. See where this is unfortunately going. We were in the grocery section and I was grabbing a few things for dinner that night. We were in the pasta aisle, which also means mac and cheese. This so happens to be S' favorite food, plus she loves organizing the boxed and making the rows straight. I'm a couple feet away down the aisle, but still right there and keeping an eye on her, making sure she is okay. Enter Psycho Idiot. She rapidly approaches S, and my first thought was PB must be in a hurry for something in the aisle. No. I was very wrong. PB, to S, where is the bread? S, stares only BC. She doesn't talk to many people and is not okay with being randomly approached. PB, what are you? Deaf? I said, where is the bread? At this point PB is getting into S' personal space, major trigger for her and people raising voices, and I'm already rushing to intervene. Me, ma'am, S is not an employee, you are frightening her, please leave her alone. During this I have physically placed myself between S and PB. PB, however, doesn't accept this. PB, ha. You're just covering for this lazy employee trying to avoid work. Me, attempting to keep my voice as even and calm as possible for S's sake, you need to leave my S alone. Now. You have entered her personal space and continually raised your voice. She clearly is not dressed like an employee and is acting less like one. Furthermore, you need to respect S and no one, worker or not, should be talked to like you just did to a little girl. PB, well I never. She is being a lazy retard and needs to do her job. And more racial slurs plus ranting here. I don't remember all she said because I was still keeping an eye on S and was more concerned with her. During all this, S has now hidden behind our shopping cart and is rocking back and forth, while covering her ears. PB, realizing her ranting is not getting S to tell her where bread is, decides the next option is to reach and grab S by the hair. Why she thought this would make a real employee help is beyond me. S starts screaming and I immediately slap PB hand away and remove her from S. PB, how dare you? Do you know WHOIAM? You are a worse employee than that idiot. I'm calling the police. You assaulted me. Me, go right the hell ahead, idiot. I'd like to see you try. PB storms off to find the manager at this point. I immediately turn and try to calm S down and lay down with her. This helps S, and start to hum a little. She is still upset, but is starting to calm a little. PB returns, sadly, with manager M in tow. PB is going on and on about being assaulted and how S and I need to be fired ECT. M, hello, what occurred? PB is claiming you assaulted her? Me, actually. She physically grabbed S, and yanked her hair because PB believed S was an employee, despite me saying many times she is not. I had to forcibly remove PB from S head. So, if you call me defending my autistic sister assault, then go ahead. M is confused as he heard a very different story. PB, it's too late now, idiot. I didn't do anything wrong. You're just mad you failed to pretend you and S don't work here and are now losing you jobs. M, PB, neither of these women work here. You assaulted this girl, and if anyone is pressing charges it would be S. If you'd like I can pull up security footage. Now, you can either leave right now, or be escorted by security. That is your choice to make. PB, now getting the picture that she is in major trouble, tried to excuse her way out, but ultimately forcibly removed by security. But not before getting her information. M offers to give us everything we needed as compt, but I was more worried about S and getting her out. So, M gave us gift cards for future trips and I got S back home as quickly as possible. Once home, and after helping S calm down, I called the police and reported PB. The M told me he would provide the footage if needed. I told the police everything that happened, PB's name and information, and that M has footage of the event. For anyone wondering, S is doing well, but doesn't want to go anywhere near the Bullseye store, and is refusing to interact with anyone but me right now. She is having night terrors, but I'm staying with parents and am sleeping in S room with her currently to help S out and care for her. Edit, corrected my spelling of Colombian. I must have missed that when I was typing everything out. Sorry. Thank you for everyone with the kind words. It's been stressful and it's been hard seeing my sister going through this. We are pressing charges, hence calling the police once I had gotten my sister home. I am thankful to say my boss understands the situation, and fortunately I am able to work from home if needed, so I have been staying with my parents and working from home while helping out. My sister went through a major breakdown, understandably so, and is recovering. To those who think this is fake, I'm sorry you think this, and honestly, I wish it was. In no world would I wish PB's behavior on anyone, but especially not my sister. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and post some bear emojis in the comments.